We hear about this big word, neuroplasticity, but what is it and how does it relate to my balance? You'll find out in this episode. The $100 billion rehab question is, how does someone who has had a fall and has lost mobility confidence believe in their balance again? With a fall comes the paralyzing fear of another, and with it, the loss of mobility, strength, energy, and independence. The list goes on. And that's the bad news, and usually where the downward health spiral begins and illness and aging complications win. My name is David Dansero, physical therapist and certified aging in place specialist. Now for the good news. It doesn't have to end that way. Welcome to the Believe in Balance podcast, where I'll show you another path forward. Tune in as I share the top strategies and exercises to help you regain control over your balance using research-driven insights, evidence-based programs, and advice from industry leaders in aging and wellness and longevity. Whether you're already suffered a fall or had a few close calls and know you need to take charge and become more proactive about your balance health, this podcast is for you. You're sure to feel empowered and inspired to try something new in each episode. Ready? Let's get started. Welcome back to episode 13 of the Believe in Balance podcast. The title of this episode is Build Better Balance, and this comes from an article I wrote back many years ago for Stroke Smart Magazine's mobility column. And I feel it's appropriate today to share and build on the resources from my recent pre-launch of my new balance course, Believe in Balance. So balance is a task we master early in life. And it seems simple enough, but as we age or encounter a neurological insult like a stroke or other challenge that impairs mobility, balance often needs to be relearned. This may mean that the brain has to find new pathways or a new route to learn how to maintain balance. Scientists call this the ability of the brain to be constantly reshaped when challenged, a term called neuroplasticity. So let's break down that fancy word with real-world examples you might understand better from your childhood. Think about how you first learned to ride a bike. In the beginning, your brain was overwhelmed by all the information it had to process. How fast to pedal, when to coast, how to steer, how to stop. However, with a lot of practice, it eventually became automatic. With continued exposure to this new situation, you built a new blueprint in your brain for the nervous system to follow so that you could ride that bike. So how do you rewire a balanced blueprint like that if it has been damaged? If you're trying to build better balance with advancing age or after a neurological insult, the nervous system still needs to be challenged in order to learn how to rewire your balance. The goal is to get the body and nervous system to rebuild this blueprint together and find alternate pathways to reconnect if one or more of your balance control systems have weakened or are impacted from an illness. Think about it if a road is closed and you have built-in GPS like Waze or other map systems now on your phone that can find another route around that blocked interstate to get you still to where you want to be. That's just another quick example how your brain can find alternate paths to maintain your balance. If you attended my Believe in Balance workshop, you'll recall there are 3 parts of the balance control that your body has built in. The ability to maintain balance involves effective communication and coordination between these 3 sensory systems in the body. If you missed the workshop, these systems are, number 1, visual. Provides a reference point for the position of your head in relation to your environment. Number 2, somatosensory. This is the relative position of body parts. This is also known as proprioception, or how your muscles, nerves, and tissues work together or feel positioning in the body in space and on different surfaces. And 3, vestibular. The orientation of the head and speed of movement. In our workshop, we also discuss how to identify which systems are challenged and what might need to be worked on to improve each system. Also important, we determined when is it critical that you seek help right away for your balance concerns. We learned this through looking at the CDC or STEADY fall risk algorithm and checklist, and I provided that resource in the guidebook. If you had the green light after going through that quick checklist and looked at the assessments that we considered, we discussed next steps in the workshop. So here are 4 quick tips you may recall that we mentioned to get you started building better balance. Have a written plan or a calendar for building your balance. We talked about this as well in the workshop to know where you are now in the recovery process or using the balance assessments as a starting point and exactly where you want to be in, for example, X number of months, weeks, etc. This assessment record maps how long you can currently balance in different positions and provides a balance baseline along with other confidence benchmarks that will help motivate you. In the workshop, I covered how to assess and access these benchmarks or these mobility assessments and provided a video demonstration of the 3 evidence-based Otago mobility measurements. For review, they are the timed up and go, this is the stand or chair stand test, and the 4-stage balance measure to assess your current balance abilities. The next thing you want to do is make balance training fun. You can investigate new ways to add in exergaming or technology such as Ludo Fit or other older style Wii-based gaming systems, much of what I did my own balance recovery on after my stroke. They certainly still work fine too, and you can still find them in the market fairly inexpensive. Also consider things like yoga, Pilates, Tai Chi, or other core and balance-based programs, or consider returning to hobbies that you once enjoyed, or simply get back to walking more again. As you take part in the program and build your balance, mobility, confidence, and strength, you might get out there and see that your daily walking goals can be increased. The next point is to practice, and get more practice, but make sure it happens with purpose. That's what drives neuroplasticity. Building better balance certainly requires more than performing just 2 sets of 10 twice a day, but that's a good starting point if you're doing nothing now. You'll need to find little ways to sneak in more balance practice throughout the day as you want to progress your balance and strength. Try to stand on one leg while brushing your teeth. Incorporate a mirror with your therapy to provide instant visual feedback on your progress. Use the Otago Foundation Balance Program as a starting point. This was offered to you for attending the Believe in Balance workshop, and there was a trial access to the app that I use to connect with my clients. The next point is to film your progress. This is what I did personally a lot and recommend to many of my clients still today. You can film yourself at home, which can help you measure your progress and see before and after results of your balance training. We also learned on the workshop that periodically repeating the Otago balance measurements are a way to keep you motivated and accountable. If you attended the workshops, you remember I gave 2 testimonies and actually showed their outcome measures over time. I also suggest to work with a physical therapist to help to keep your balance program challenging. And that's what you can also do through the app. And as the course develops, you'll see opportunities for that. I hope this gives you a better idea how the brain's neuroplasticity can help you rewire your balance blueprint, both in health and in disease. The choice is yours either way. The next step forward can be one filled with more confidence if you just get started today, and it's never too late to start. As I said when I closed out the workshop with an Einstein quote, "Nothing happens till something moves." The brain can't build neuroplasticity without the body committing to move. So start building your body armor against falls today. Until next time, stay well, stay on your feet, keep the faith, and keep moving forward.